Hey guys, Kenny here. I hope, anyway. Good to be here. It is Wednesday evening. A little Ken rant this evening. Nothing, nothing knocking my socks off. But, well, there's plenty of things knocking my socks off. It's not all great. It's not all beautiful. It's not all bad. And hope you guys are doing well. Cities and suburbs, here to get your head right, get your heart right about where you live. Little insight, and just going to fly by the seat of my pants for the next couple minutes. Wednesday, February 6th, 2019. Obviously, Super Bowl champs once again in New England. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And I'm just going to try something out with you guys real quick. Check this out. I moved. Yeah, just let me give you this tonight. We had a couple of days in the 60s and saw people with shorts on, and good luck with that. Today's highest temperatures, it looks like, was Rio Grande Village, Texas at 86 degrees. And that was a tie with McAllen, Texas at 86 degrees. This is from the National Weather Service. The lowest temperatures were at Cooper Basin in Idaho, if that's what ID stands for. Minus 22 below. Cold, cold, cold. So yeah. But the rodent says that we're going to have an early spring. The little rodent, that guy. But I was listening to tonight. The Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito was on the Jordan Levy show. Called in, and we're talking about, of course, Worcester. Everything Worcester, and that's why I didn't prep for this show. I just wanted to do a quick cast off the top of my head that on a lot of levels, I am so proud of Worcester in terms of, where it's come from, which a lot of people do not know Worcester's history. Go visit the Worcester Historical Museum. And if you didn't grow up in Worcester and you grew up in some other town, look at your own town's history and look at its significance in terms of its history, not just its current day. Every city, town has a problem. I've said this a million friggin' times, okay? There's no utopic, suburban, rural, gateway city, edge city, suburban area that does not, have a problem. I mean, if you look at last September in 2018, up in Lawrence and Andover, a lot of suburbs, what happened? Gas lines blew up. And that basically, a lot of that was in suburbia. Not all of it, but it was. So you can live in a city, you can live in a suburb, you could, our cities are just right now, especially here in the Northeast, density. And that seems like to be the word that our local officials, politicians, if you will, are using to describe Worcester, Mass, particularly its core, its central business district, if you will. Density. But I have to argue that, Worcester right now is under scrutiny in terms of its growth. I mean, obviously, if you get great or trying to be great, there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there. I mean, look at the Patriots, you know, 35, 40 years they were. Now the last 20 years, um, nobody likes them because they're doing the right things. And Worcester, I think, kind of fits that, or any city that is trying to do the right things. But again, you know, I was reading the Boston Business Journal seems very pro Worcester. Um, it seems that there's a couple of schools of thought that Worcester is not doing all of this development on its own. It has a partner, and its partner is the Metro West in Boston. Um, and you could say, well, we're going to let Boston pick us up, you know, meaning that a lot of people are going to get priced out of Boston, and they're going to find themselves right here in Worcester now. There's a couple of ways to think about that, but you can say downtown 365 Front Street right now that people are being priced out of, I'm sorry, a development known as 145 Front Street. 365 new apartments. And I've got to tell you, I mean, if you talk to people that are indigenous Worcester people born here, work here, this is their home, they look at the downtown as kind of a joke. They're the folks that take the bus, still get harassed at the hub, you know, ask for money, and the connection over there to Union Station, where, you know, folks are going in there and people are going in there and falling asleep. You know, obviously, an opiate crisis in the United States, so it's nothing new to Worcester, but, you know, you have that element hanging around the train station. You have an empty train station that there's no one in there because there's no stores. You've got failing restaurants. And so when you create that kind of space, that's not density. I mean, space can be dense. I mean, if you want to go back to physical science, but I'm not really capable of doing that right now because I just can't wait for the zombies to come back. But maybe that's what we're talking about. So there was a security company that was actually managing the security of Union Station. And so says the city manager that he personally went in there on a Sunday or over the weekend and found most of the security personnel, which was probably three of them, sitting in a room, and while other elements were outside that they should have been paying attention to. If you're going to create density, people, and they're going to pay these kind of prices to live in luxury apartments, you know, yeah, you got to hire better security, or it needs to be patrolled by the Worcester police. You know, some say that, okay, well, let's control the undesirables. That's gentrification. Now, I've been to many cities, many cities, just like all you folks have been. Philly, New York, Nashville, you know, Greenfield, Massachusetts, when they were camping out on the, you know, the lawn there a few years ago, and just hanging there and building tents, and every community has its issues, and I think that's why you have to like reach in and always remember the history of why your town is actually there. You know, in the Northeast, it's easy. Well, you know, I'm a manufacturer, and there was a big river there, so we're going to build a big mill. And they weren't thinking about 100 years from now, and I don't think, you know, there was the waters were never going to get polluted. You know, no matter how much died, you know, pumped in there. So if you got a red trout, that's what you have for supper that night. But, sustainability. And talk about density. What is density? When I hear the city officials talk about density downtown Worcester, I hear it kind of in a one-dimensional way. People living there. And it's almost like, well, as soon as we have enough people living there, we can convince the retail component to move back to the city or to attract new businesses. Or why wait? Why wait? Okay, there's plenty of people living down at 165 right now. Okay, you got a hotel there, could certainly use the business. Worcester is not a four-season downtown hotel kind of thing. You're going to have, this time of year, everything moves inside, the concerts, hockey, but during the summer, hotels in the inner city, I bet you even Boston in the North End and kind of struggles in that kind of thing, density, don't wait. Right now there's so many. I've got to say, the back of Union Station, Franklin Street by the Kenmore Diner, there are the whole retail space available. Where's retail space available? Brand new retail space available. Right off the Canal District, there is not one store, not one boutique on that stretch. Nothing. And you have the edge where all these young college kids or people rent these furnished apartments in a beautiful restored historic building, the Osgood Bradley building. There's nothing. If these guys want to walk down and go get a soda, maybe there's a vending machine in the lobby. There better be, because there's not any boutiques. There's nothing down there. There's no shopping. I'm going to challenge you right now. Why are you waiting for density? Wait for all those people to move in. They're all going to show up to the party. They're going to sit there and go, who brought the food? When I go to some place, the food's like already there, unless it's to bring your own. And right now, people living downtown Worcester, it's a bring your own. If you're living down there, you have an automobile. Heaven forbid riding the bus system. So you did all your stops on the way home, right? Why should you have to do that? Why should you have to do that? So there's hundreds of parcels downtown available. The old Worcester Market, that has such a history, and we'll get into that in a later episode, but that was a central market, served 25,000 people a day, built in 1914. I jump online right now, and I just want to do this off the top of my head, but there was no market like that. It was everything, because people were downtown. Well, now they're downtown, and that Worcester Market was out of the Worcester, the Worcester Redevelopment Corporation. It was out of their jurisdiction. It's privately owned. And so it doesn't have a chance to be included. Okay, right there at Madison and Maine and Chandler, prime. It's prime. It's right there where the new ballpark's going to go. It's right near all the apartments where people are going to live. And you've got an adult daycare center in there now, but that's fine. But that's a use of the space. An adult daycare center should be in a little bit more serene place, if you will. But there's better uses for that building. And let's give the folks that are down there a real opportunity to go walk in the woods and things like that. That's what folks like that need. But so the connectivity is missing. The retail's missing. The density, residential density. Karen Polito brought that up tonight on the Jordan Levy show about, we're going to have the density. And, it's like, you got to be a magnet. You can't be polarizing. I'm going to move down here, but what's the risk? I mean, if I go buy something or a new car, it's like I know right away. I'm all in. I'm not waiting for them 6 months later to install a radio. So I told you guys this was just a flip kind of conversation because I'm not in a good mood tonight, and I am not pleased with everything that I see. There's definitely, Worcester is positioning itself to be either really great, and that's not just having a great downtown, but really a great city with still maintaining good public schools, a good culture, great restaurants, great services, attention to the homeless population. That whether they're from Worcester or not, the homeless will always go to a hub. I remember being in New York City back in 1991. I met so many homeless people that weren't even from New York. I'm actually speaking of Idaho. I met a gentleman from Idaho who was homeless. He made his way across the Midwest, and he just ended up in New York City because, there's more people there probably give him stuff. And anyway, so let's do things right. Let's do things good. And I'm going to end this live stream, you guys. You're always great. And I do have to say, on on a lighter note, that going to be really proud of our Patriots and pitchers and catchers report in 2 weeks. Go Red Sox. They're going to take it from here. All right, you guys. Good night. Take care. Thanks.